Good news for Gracie as she has finally found a home. You may remember the 19-year-old thoroughbred came to Domestic Animal Services in September 2009 after being abandoned several months earlier by her previous owner. Domestic Animal Services staff and a host of dedicated volunteers have worked tirelessly over the past 8 months to attempt to place Gracie in an appropriate home. As a racehorse, Gracie had 37 starts between 1996 and 1998 with no wins. Gracie has some lameness and cannot be ridden, which made finding a new home for her especially challenging. We wish Gracie and her new family all of the best. Demolition of the former Bayshore Club Apartments property is back underway. Diane Flagg explains that while the blight prevention program is effective in handling cases like the Bayshore Club Apartments, the process can be challenging.
What took place is the bank did not have title, but they had agreed to abate the violation by demolishing 16 apartment buildings, even prior to obtaining certificate of title. Unfortunately, the bigger picture for that bank is that they were shut down by the bank regulators, and FDIC came in to take over their assets. So then we began working with the FDIC representatives at the federal level, and they now also have agreed to continue the abatement of the violation by taking and demolishing the 16 buildings, 16 apartment buildings. So they're in the process of doing that right now.
Demolition is expected to last 4 weeks. Now that summer is here, it sure would be nice to have some place to go to cool off. Someplace that is open 7 days a week and fun for the whole family. Hey, wait a minute. We do have that place, and it's called N Fun Lagoon. Collier County's water park, N Fun Lagoon, which is located in the North Collier Regional Park, is now open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. all summer long. The park has 5 water slides, a heated family pool, Turtle Cove pool, and a tadpole pool, a lazy river, and much more. Now, if you want more information about admission, specials, and other information, call N Fun Lagoon at 252-4021. The Deepwater Horizon oil spill disaster is a major concern for the Gulf of Mexico and the state of Florida. On June 1st, Congressman Connie Mack spoke about this issue during his visit to the county's Emergency Operations Center.
This is a real disaster. And this, I think, highlights the failure on all levels, whether it's the federal government, whether it's BP, the private sector, everything has failed. And it is clear to me that there were not the proper contingency plans put in place to handle a disaster like this. And it's an outrage. You know, the American people right now are scratching their head going, it just seems like everywhere we turn, there's failure. We can't secure the borders. We can't stop and clean up an oil spill. We can't control spending in Washington. There's real frustration, and I think this oil spill highlights that. We like to say that as Americans we have the best and the brightest. It's time for the President to call on the best and brightest Americans and around the world, frankly, to step up, stop the oil, and clean it up. We have, whether it's the Army, whether it's the Army Corps of Engineers, whether it's FEMA, we have resources at our hands that we need to call in to help solve this problem. I also would like to say that BP should be held responsible for every dime. So if there are government resources used, BP should be on the hook to pay for those resources. This is a failure beyond belief. And those that are going to suffer and pay the consequences are the people who not only live along the Gulf Coast, but all of Americans are going to suffer because this is going to have a tremendous impact on domestic oil production in the future, our energy needs in this country, and it is, to this point, has been not only a disaster on the rig when it exploded, but it has been a disaster in stopping the oil, capturing the oil, and cleaning it up. And as Americans, as someone who lives on the Gulf Coast, this is our worst nightmare. The potential for harm to our community is great. And there are people who are responsible for this and will be held accountable. And I call on the President to utilize every resource available. This is an emergency. When you have an emergency, it's all hands on deck. There are people out there looking for jobs. Well, put them to work cleaning up the oil and send BP the bill.
For up-to-date information concerning the oil spill, go to colliergov.net. On Monday, June 14th, the Economic Development Council of Collier County held a Project Innovation Town Hall meeting at the Telford Education Center at Naples Community Hospital. The event featured State Senator Jeff Atwater, and here is an excerpt.
We have a responsibility to deliver a balanced budget for the people of Florida. Now, all of us, whatever enterprise that you're running today, not only are you trying to meet this year's objectives that you've set out for yourself in a challenging time, looking at how we can be more efficient, more effective, possibly pick up a little bit more business under our present model, you're constantly assessing, but how do I need to look down the road? What is the landscape just ahead that we're not quite on top of yet? How do I prepare myself for that? You would expect nothing less than those of us who you've granted the high honor of representing you in Tallahassee, serving in your state government. So as Fred pointed out a few minutes ago, we look at all the traditions that have made Florida an extraordinary place to establish a business, grow the business, raise a family. And yet, some of these are going to be very challenged.
If you want to see the entire town hall meeting, you can catch it here on Collier Television. Just go to our website, colliergov.net, for the channel schedule. Now let's take a look at some upcoming Collier County government meetings. The following meetings are all held in the board meeting room on the third floor of the W. Harmon Turner Building in the Collier County Government Center, unless otherwise indicated. On Wednesday, June 16th at 9 a.m., the Contractors Licensing Board will meet. The Collier County Planning Commission will meet on Thursday, June 17th at 8:30 a.m. And the Board of County Commissioners will meet in regular session on Tuesday, June 22nd at 9 a.m. For more information on Collier County government or to inquire about other meetings that have been scheduled since the taping of this program, contact the Communication and Customer Relations Department at 252-8848 or via email troymiller@colliergov.net. You can also click on our website at colliergov.net for more information. That's all the time we have on this edition of Collier Focus. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.